Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another review. This time, it's a Dior Privé. Now, Patchouli Imperial. This fragrance was released in 2011, and the parfumer is François Dimaschi. Absolutely fantastic creation. You know, the problem with patchouli is it's got a reputation, right? When somebody mentions patchouli, people say the 70s hippie, very heady, strong, medicinal, damp, resinous kind of a fragrance. Not resinous, but dusty, damp kind of a fragrance. Yeah, really old book, old library is what people associate patchouli with. And patchouli always is sweetened up with vanilla. This fragrance is none of that. It's an amazing fragrance. The one I'm reviewing is the old version. This was reformulated in 2018. It still smells almost the same. It's got some more different facets. I like both, but I've got the 2011 version. This, as you can see, is the official 5 ml splash bottles, which are very handy. Okay, Patchouli Imperial. Because it's a splash bottle, I've just applied it 5 minutes ago. Before I go into the review, I'd like to tell you something. Patchouli Imperial is basically what Coromandel is for Chanel. Yeah, it's basically the same kind of a take, you know. And you know, I've seen this more and more. Dior and Chanel have a little bit of a healthy sort of a competition. Think of this. Chanel came up with the blue scent in 2011, became very popular. So Dior came up with Sauvage 2014 or whatever. So there's a little bit of a healthy competition between these two, which I really enjoy. You know, Coromandel is one of the most famous fragrances from Chanel, so why not? So how does this start off? So this is a linear fragrance, but it's a very interesting and very beautifully made linear fragrance. When it starts off with I'll start with the texture. The texture is very luminous. So patchouli is a dark note, spicy dark note, but the fragrance texture is as if you're wearing something made of fine silk. And it's very luminous. So whatever light is falling on it, it's radiating that light. It's a beautiful texture, which I was not expecting. Yeah. Now the smell. The smell has this beautiful lemony facets. It's almost like patchouli mixed with a lot of lime or maybe bergamot, but I don't smell bergamot. I smell lemony lime kind of a note with patchouli. So it's very lemony patchouli, and it's combined with a beautiful green coriander, fresh coriander. Yeah, no dusty, no spiciness. It's a fresh coriander, green, and that further is based on a very radiant woody base, which is sandalwood, and it's a synthetic sandalwood. Doesn't smell like Indian sandalwood, but you can smell sandalwood. Yeah, so that's the opening. So none of that old reputation of patchouli. It's a very beautiful, spicy, dry. The patchouli is as if it's going to crumble. Dry leaf of patchouli, very, very dry and aromatic and slightly smoky, but the smokiness comes after about 15-20 minutes. In the mid stages, the fragrance has a little bit of a depth, more volume to it. So the patchouli brings in the chocolatey vibe, dark chocolatey vibe. The fragrance also becomes a little bit darker, yeah, and there's a bit more smokiness, and that smokiness is coming from patchouli. If you smell real patchouli oil, it's very smoky, dense, damp and dusty. No dampness, even in the middle stages. They've combined a little bit of smokiness, maybe with a little bit of artificial incense, maybe, because there's this lemoniness which is carried on, and that coriander is maintained, and the sandalwood gets a little bit of more momentum. In the late dry down, the chocolatey vibe goes away, and you have this warm sweetness, as if amber resin has been used. Amber resin is not mentioned in the notes breakdown, but I smell a little bit of warm, slightly sweet resinous character. Very dry still. Yeah, and lo and behold, the current formulation has both rose and amber. That rose amber combination that they've used in Ombre Nuit is what I get a hint of, just a tiny bit of, but it's there in the dry down, as if they've used the dry down of Ombre Nuit and then built it on top. This on top of that. I can't remember when Ombre Nuit was released. I could be wrong, but you get that texture, that feel is there. Just amazing, this fragrance. So ups and downs, yeah. The fragrance is beautiful. It's a dazzler, as I said. It is created to grab attention. It's really, really very well made. That's the second upside. Apart from being so beautifully made, it is an attention seeker, and it projects a lot, and it smells amazingly expensive. That's the third upside. The fragrance reeks of quality. The moment you smell it, you know you're smelling a very high quality fragrance, which has been beautifully constructed, and it's just a attention grabber, serious attention grabber. Just amazing. You'll just keep on inhaling this fragrance because it smells amazing. Downsides. Number one downside to this fragrance is that, this fragrance is still available to 2011 formulation, but it's available in 250 ml bottles, and that too directly from Dior's French website. Now, or maybe the US, I can't remember exactly, but I checked it a few days ago. But the thing is, who would want to spend 250 ml bottle, when you have a big collection? And that's the problem I faced with all the Dior Privé fragrances. So that's the thing. The practicality aspect is very weak when it comes to the Privé line. They should be doing 75 ml like Chanel does. What's wrong with the 75 ml? Or maybe even a 50 ml. I don't know. Probably they do, I can't remember. I think they do 125 and 250. I may be wrong, but as my memory serves, I think it's 125 and 250. So the other downside. Now, the fragrance, apart from being very impractical to afford, is the linearity. The fragrance, as I said, it's a linear fragrance. And there are many facets which come up and down. It's a beautifully made fragrance, but still, when you spend over 150 pounds or whatever it is, you want some complexity, some development. So after 10 or 15 wears, it becomes very familiar. So there's nothing new after you've worn it for about 10-15 minutes. 10-15 times. So that's the second downside. A slight one, but all Dior Privés are like that. They're not overly complex, but they have been created with amazing ingredients and a lot of artistic work. So, when to wear this? I think the best occasion for any good patchouli fragrance is autumn, because it just brings out that beautiful, earthy, spicy, green herbal side. Autumn is beautiful and best, and this smells beautiful in autumn. And patchouli fragrance is done right, are very sexy. So evening time, or special occasions, or even to work, but you have to watch the sprays. That brings me to the next point. Performance. Performance is terrific on this one. Longevity is 12 plus hours. Sillage is absolutely fantastic because it's very high quality, and projection is 1 to 1.5 hours for about 2 arms length. So if you go 2 sprays, you are going to be smelt pretty easily. So, watch the sprays, especially if you wear it on your clothes. I don't wear it on my clothes, but I think if you wear it on your clothes, it projects a lot more. Now, age groups. Patchouli fragrances are mature, so 25-30 plus. This fragrance is unisex. It's going to suit a wonderfully well-dressed businesswoman, and it's going to suit a gentleman. It's so beautifully made. It's just amazing. It's just absolutely fantastic. The way it smells. It's going to suit everybody. You just have to dress up a little bit. This is slightly formal. I wouldn't wear this on a t-shirt and jeans. Compliment factor. Patchouli has this problem. Depends on who smells you. If they are very fond of patchouli, if they're very fond of dry, woody, spicy fragrances, you might get a compliment. But this is so beautifully made. If I was smelling it on somebody, I'll definitely compliment them, because this is classy. Absolutely brilliant. Right? I think I've covered compliment factor, seasons, age groups, unisex. I think I'm going to give it... This is a hard one. I was going to give it a 9. I'm going to give it an 8. 8 out of 10. Hope you enjoy the review, fellas. Take care. Bye-bye.